Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into factory floor English. We're going to learn all the essential words you'll need in any manufacturing world. So, whether you're working with machines every day or you're just curious about how stuff gets made, let's get you talking the talk.
So, what's our goal here? It's actually pretty simple. We want to give you the core vocabulary you need to communicate clearly and confidently in any factory. You ready to get started? Let's get to it.
All right, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll step inside the factory. Then, we'll look at the essential toolkit and see the assembly process in action. After that, we'll talk about operating safely and precisely. And we'll wrap it all up with a review of your factory floor vocabulary. See? We're building up our knowledge step by step, kind of like a product on an assembly line.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, inside the factory. Before we can even talk about tools and tasks, we've got to understand the place where it all happens.
So, the heart of pretty much any factory is the assembly line. I want you to think of it as the main highway of the whole operation. It's this super organized path where a product is built up piece by piece as it moves from one station to the next until bam, you've got a finished item.
So now that we kind of have the lay of the land, let's get into Section 2, the essential toolkit. We're going to look at the basic gear you'll find on just about any factory floor.
First things first, what even is a tool? Well, it's any device you use to get a specific job done. I mean, it could be a simple little screwdriver or some massive complex robotic arm. If it helps you do a task, guess what? It's a tool.
For today, we're going to focus on 3 really common and really powerful factory tools. We've got the saw, which is for cutting, the drill for making holes, and the welder for joining pieces of metal. These 3 are the absolute workhorses of the factory floor. All right, so we have our tools, but you know, a tool is just a thing, an object, until you actually use it for a task. And that brings us perfectly into Section 3, where we put these tools into motion. Check this out. This is all about the relationship between a tool and what it does, its action. The tool is the saw. The action you do with it is cutting. Makes sense, right? Use a saw for cutting. And you're probably seeing the pattern here. It's the exact same idea for our next one. The tool is a drill. The action you perform is drilling. Use a drill for drilling a hole exactly where you need it to be. And last but not least, we have the welder. This amazing piece of equipment is used for the action of welding. That's the process where you use some serious heat to literally melt metal parts together, and that creates an incredibly strong bond. So if you put it all together, you can see a little story of how something gets made. A worker might start by cutting a piece of material to the right size. Then they're drilling holes where they need to be. Next, they're welding that piece to another part. All of these actions, the cutting, drilling, welding, they're all part of the big picture process of assembling, which is the final step of putting all the different pieces together. Okay, we know the place, we know the tools, we know the actions. But who's actually doing the work? And how do they do it safely and accurately? Well, that leads us right into Section 4, operating safely and precisely.
The most important person on any factory floor is the operator. This is the skilled person who controls the equipment, who performs all those tasks, and who's responsible for the quality and safety of everything they do. You could say they're the brain behind the machine.
Now, to control any machine, an operator needs to know its most basic parts. You push a button to make something start or stop. You flip a switch to turn the power on or off. And you grab a handle to move or adjust some part of the machine. These are your main controls.
Now, let's talk about something that is absolutely non-negotiable: safety. It's priority number 1. As you can see here, machines have features to protect the operator. That clear safety guard, it's a physical barrier that keeps you away from the sharp blade. And when you're working with materials, you always have to be aware of the part's flat surface and its sharp edge.
Right after safety comes precision. In manufacturing, close enough is just not good enough. It doesn't work. Every single part has to be made to exact specifications, every single time. Precision is absolutely everything. So, how do we make sure we have that precision? We measure. And to measure an object correctly, an operator has to check its 3 main dimensions: its length, that's how long it is; its width, how wide it is; and its height, how tall it is. If you get those 3 right, your part is going to be perfect.
All right, wow, we have covered a ton of ground, from the big picture of the assembly line all the way down to the tiny millimeter of a measurement.
Let's pull it all together for one final review just to make sure it all sticks.
And here it is, the whole shebang. For tools, we learned saw, drill, and welder. The actions they do are cutting, drilling, and welding. To control the machine, you'll use a button, switch, or handle. For safety, you've got the safety guard and you're watching out for the blade. And for measurement, you check the length, width, and height. See how it all connects?
And there you have it, the fundamental language of the factory floor. You've now got the words to describe the place, the tools, the actions, and how to work safely and precisely. So I guess the only question left is, what will you build with your new vocabulary?